Bots for the win.
Coming up on today's edition of the Bots for the Win podcast, we're going to be talking about the fundamentals of bot building. I'm going to answer both why bots, why now, why Facebook Messenger, and why it's worth going all in on Messenger if you can, and bots in general as you can. The fundamentals. So let's talk about them. What are they? Most important, whose fundamentals are they? Well, of course, they're mine, but they're certainly not mine by invention. I did not invent these. But now that I've had some months and months and months of running them and looking at the data and analyzing things, I am more convinced than ever they're absolutely the way to go. Now, I'm not laboring under the illusion that they are or will be equally applied to every business and every niche out there. But I think they might get close. A variation of them will likely work for you. And you know, as I was mapping out some of the future episodes, I've been chomping at the bit to get to some new ones. And as I started to like work on them and start writing them, I realized I can't put the cart before the horse. I need to get this one in the can so I can reference it, have it set up the others. And so what are the fundamentals? And it's not so much about the crazy tactical stuff that I love or the hacky stuff, but more the big picture. So I'm going to do my best at being succinct and give them to you high level. You work on bringing subscribers into your bot. You put them through the survey and you ask the questions that are important to your business, to your buyer personas. You build a wall in your bot so that everybody that comes in goes through that survey. You capture their email address. Once they're through that survey, you get the bad fits out. It's better for them and better for you. You focus all of your energy on the people that are the good fit, that are the good buyer personas. And that's it. That's it in a nutshell. You do that effectively, and the score is going to take care of itself. Now, let me touch on each of them and expand my thinking, highlight some of the things that I'm doing in my own bot work. And before we get to that, though, the bigger question in all of this, the age-old question, is it worth going all in on Messenger? Is it worth it? And I think it's a much easier question to answer for some than others. If you believe, like I believe, and you're, say, just getting started, or your business started a couple of months ago, or it's still new, it's really pretty easy. It's not a whole lot of risk either. Instead of email capture first, you go all in on Messenger capture first. Pretty simple. You bolt the growth tools in, you get at it. If you've got an established business with a decent sized footprint, it's a little bit harder to do. And I think there's some increased risk there certainly for doing it. If you're a big business with a huge digital footprint, lots and lots and lots of different tentacles here, there, and everywhere, it's daunting to even think about. Ludicrous even. How would you even pitch that to the top brass to undertake something like this? Putting all of your eggs in Messenger's basket? What about for me? In my own practice, I consult for some big dogs and some smaller ones. And my mind obviously is made up. I think it's worth going all in. But it's really important to couch that in the fact that the verticals that I'm in, pretty much the entire customer base and prospective customer base are on Facebook Messenger and have the apps installed on their phones. What if yours are not? What if they're not? And I'm going to address that for a moment at the end. Moreover, it's pretty easy to hedge for those that don't. Hey, don't have Messenger? Here's an email subscribe option. Easy enough. So on the big dogs, I'm moving things slowly, moving things over all into Messenger slowly, step by step, not going all in, but really just kind of testing and validating things along the way, showing the other stakeholders involved how beneficial it is. And on the small guys, I'm not even worried about it. I'm swan diving into the deep end, triple Indy. Now, why? For me, it's the fundamentals. Now, I've touched on them before in some previous episodes, but let's just say the big three ones, and again, succinctly, minus all of the additional downstream benefits, a la the open rates and customized experience and first name, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Number one, the fact that you can ask your survey questions and get to know who the good fits are within the very first interaction, in some cases, with your brand or business, that's just incredibly profound. It just is. You couple that with the fact of the additional data you pull in, their real first name and last name and time zone and profile photo, and it just changes everything. Number two, how incredibly easy and friction-free it is to capture email in the bot. The vast majority of the time, their Facebook email, moreover, is way better than the email they would give you otherwise, which is info@don'temailmeever.com. Number three, because Messenger is an app that everybody has, sorry, my phone's ringing. Because Messenger is an app that everybody has, You're not limited to people being on your website or in your web app, if you've got chat in your web app or whatever, if you have one. The limitations that the other bots, the other platforms out there have, and Messenger just doesn't even have to contend with this one. Everybody's got the app, and that's it. That alone for me does it. That's why bots, why now, why Facebook Messenger at its core for me. And if your customer base is on Messenger, I really do believe it's game, set, match. It's game, set, match for Messenger. So it's easy for me to say, let's go all in. But let me get back to touching on each of the fundamentals of my points, to which Steve comes busting in my office and says, but Patrick, if I capture email and run quizzes and ask questions, I can get this done without Messenger. So I don't need to go all in on Messenger and chat, to which I replied, yeah, okay, Steve. Okay, Steve. Okay. Let's flesh it out then. The fundamentals survey. Number 1, you work on bringing subscribers into your bot. I like the analogy. The one I've used in the past is that your bot is the freeway, and all of the on-ramps, all of the growth tools are the way that you go about bringing subscribers into your bot. I touched on that in an earlier episode. What did I call it? The 10 ways to get people into your bot. I'll link that one up for you in the show notes if you'd like to listen to it. Now, remember, Steve? Go ahead, Steve, and let me know how you're going to get all of those people from all of those different venues on all of those various different devices to come give you their email address and take your quiz or survey. It's just not easy to do any other way. Messenger just makes it so easy and so efficient. Plus, it's another one of the reasons I think that Messenger has a serious leg up on its chat-based competitors. And I'm not talking about the other Messenger platforms. Yes, I use ManyChat, but it doesn't matter if you use Chatfuel or Pester or Mobile Monkey or any of the others. They're all the same in that regard, right? Because they're all based on Messenger. I mean, in contrast to the Drifts or the Intercoms or the other bots out there. Because it's Messenger, because the conversation does not end. It's rolling around with them in their phone, in their pocket, because they all already have the app on their phones. I just find it to be a serious leg up. That's number 1. Number 2, all of the folks go through the survey. You ask the questions that will qualify these folks that are pertinent to your business, whatever they may be. And yes, you can toss budget questions in there too. Now, there's obviously all kinds of tradecraft that can go into this, mind you. But the important thing is you get your tags in order, right? You use your tags in ManyChat. You give them tags if they finish it. You give them tags if they don't, and you ask them the next time. I could probably devote a couple entire episodes into the tradecraft of this, but the point is you get the gist. With the tags, you make sure you only ask once, and that with the tags, you're able to route them to the appropriate destinations in the future. And again, the sheer thought that depending on how good you are at this or will get, some decent percentage of your brand interactions with people you've never met before are going to tell you who they are. I mean, can we just appreciate the profundity of it? Also the learnings and course corrections and iterations that become possible as a result of it, of knowing, of having this intimate knowledge of your traffic. It's insane. It's insane. And for me, it really becomes punctuated when you compare and contrast it. What did you have before? What did you have before in the old way? You had an email address. Perhaps you were asking those types of questions, but you were not getting the same level of intel, not the depth of it or the breadth of it, and certainly not as quickly. Number 2. That was number 2. Number 3, you set up a city wall in your bot. And I love the Gandolf analogy. Everybody's seen Lord of the Rings. You shall not pass till you answer these survey questions. Now, if you remember Gandalf in the Lord of the Rings, you shall not pass. Hilarious thing that I've seen. I don't know if you've seen this thing, but it's a guy completely dressed up as Gandalf, okay? He's got the hat, the beard, he's got the staff, and he's on a skateboard, okay? he's on a skateboard, and he's on some 2-lane road, and he's riding his skateboard, and behind him is this long line of cars. And of course, come on, you know the show. You know I pulled the audio clip, but listen to this thing. It's the funniest thing.
You shall not pass!
Kills me. It kills me. I'll never be able to think of that movie again without seeing this reference. I'll put the video in the show notes. But all these cars are behind him honking like, go, move it. And he's just on the skateboard saying that. Anyway, it's a fantastic analogy. So you set up your bot such that every time somebody comes in, they hit this wall. They shall not pass until they answer your survey questions. Now, there's always going to be ways to do this and different ways to go about it. And of course, some people are going to slip through now and again. They're going to ignore your questions, not click the button, start typing. It's okay. You get them the next time they come back in, and you'll always know thanks to your tags. That's number 3. Number 4, you capture the email address. Most effective way this has been working for me is all at once. I'm testing some other ways for the folks that don't want to give it up, and I can cover some of those in future episodes. But my favorite jam currently, at the current moment anyway, is cold traffic via messenger ads to a lead magnet. You get the email address first, you give them the survey next, boom. You have both on the very first interaction they've had with your brand. And I've run probably to this point, I'd say, I don't know, about $20,000 or $30,000 worth of cold traffic through Facebook, leveraging this technique. And in this particular vertical, I think I'm paying like $3.25 per person that is now a bot subscriber, that I have their email address and I have their survey fill out. It's even cheaper than, it's like $2.55 or something like that, $2.75 for the ones that are just bot subscribers, or maybe just bot subscribers and email subscribers, or maybe, portions of the survey got filled out and they bounced or whatever. But $3.25 per person for all of that intel is pretty incredible. It's pretty incredible to think about. And obviously, it becomes a bit more nuanced for your existing subscribers and the ones that you're pulling in from various other growth tools, your Instagram profile or YouTube or wherever. But via the conditional logic and the tags, you don't get them on the first time. That's okay. You just keep working at it. Get everybody to go through. Get everybody to give you their email address. Get everybody to take the survey. So you capture the email. That's number 4. Number 5, once they're in and through the survey, you get the bad fits out. This is the best thing you can do both for them and for you. And, I got an email the other day from a paid traffic marketer I respect, been following for a long time, named Justin Brook. Great dude, Google him. He referred to this situation as angels and demons, that most just focus on the angels, the good fits, without realizing that this concept of getting the demons out is just as important, that doing everything you can to get the demons out is just as important. And the levity of that language, angels versus demons aside, it just resonated with me so much. I actually forwarded the email to a bunch of guys on my team. So look, this is exactly what we're dealing with. So I cannot stress enough how important this is. And I think, how often as marketers and business owners do we get bogged down worrying about the thoughts, the feelings, the comments, the trash talking of some Yahoo that is never going to do business with us ever. They are a bad fit. And I'm not sure about you on that one, but I feel like, I've been succumbing to that for years and happening for way longer than I would like. And it really changes and affects the way that you go about your marketing and your copy and, overall how you feel about things. Well, oh my gosh, people really hate, they're really responding negatively to this, such and such. Maybe I should pull this down. Those are all your demons. You want them to respond negatively. That's the whole point. So great way to get it. And, it's simple. You do something like, hey, Steve, based on the way you answer those questions, it seems like you're not a good fit for what we do. The last thing I want to be doing is sending you a bunch of marketing material and emails and messenger broadcasts, wasting your time. Thanks for checking out my bot, and you unsubscribe them right there. Better still, you make sure their email address does not go into your ESP and start getting your autoresponder sequence. They're not going to open your emails, driving down your open rates, and standing with the email service providers. You're going to end up in that Gmail promotion tab. They're going to click spam and unsubscribe and drive it down even further. So what about the bot? Don't even get started with the bot. What do we know? That a whole bunch of people are treating it like email and abusing it. How long do you think Zucks is going to let that continue? People getting a bad taste with Messenger right away because people are just blasting them like email. We don't even know, how that hammer is going to come down yet, but we know the conclusion, right? No more Messenger broadcasts for you. You're out. Oh, and by the way, you can't just switch at that point from MailChimp to ActiveCampaign, move your list over and be back up and running in a few hours, can you? No, once you're out, you're out. Also, if you're running Facebook ads, you make sure you get into you get the bad fits, the demons, whatever, into an exclusion audience. You don't ever want to pay for that click again, ever. They're out. And I can't begin to tell you how powerful this is and how much time and energy and open rates and headache and ultimately money this will save you. You don't want to waste a minute of time on these folks, nor do you want to waste their time. And it really is better for all involved. And I think, I use the freeway and the on-ramps analogy. I think it continues to work here. If the on-ramps are all the ways you get people into your bot and the bot itself is the freeway, then through the survey, you get the good leads into the fast lane and you get the bad leads to the next exit off the freeway and out of your bot. So that's number 5. Number 6, you can segment them accordingly and offer various different things, right? Great place to start, proactively having conversations with the good fits. Once you've got them in there, you start spending all your time on these folks. You start doing all of the things that don't scale, i.e. the one-to-one conversations that simply wouldn't be possible if you're talking to everybody. And you can even start moving people down the funnel manually. I've been doing a tremendous amount about that lately, which is fantastic. And it really doesn't even matter at that point. Even if you're a complete hack at marketing, and let me just put the mirror down for a second, at least you're gonna be a complete hack at marketing to the right people and to the right people. So let's sum it all up. Why bots? Why now? Why Facebook Messenger? Cold traffic, warm traffic, all traffic, knowing who they are, getting the bad ones out, and then spending all of your time, energy, and effort, marketing dollars on the good ones. So is it worth going all in on Messenger? Is it? Assuming your customer base is on Messenger? How could you possibly do any of that more effectively any other way? I mean, let me know if you've got one. Now, to tie a bow on things, I would say the biggest thing that I did not mention in all of this is how powerful the conversations are with the right people. You run this for long enough, if you're an operator, you're in the trenches, you're doing the hand-to-hand combat, you get such an amazing feel for where people are in your funnel, what types of questions they're coming in, what are they asking, what do you need to fix, what do you need to iterate on, and you're doing it with the people that might actually buy from you. And so I think with some hand-to-hand combat towards the right people via conversations in your bot, you really do have this ability to like drastically shorten the time it takes people to get to the know, like, and trust barrier, as well as moving down your funnel. Now, I love the fact that the niches I play in work for going all in on Messenger. What if they don't, right? That I said at the top, what if they don't? And I believe that the overall fundamentals are more important than whatever app you use to do it. The name of the show is Bots for the Win. It's not Messenger for the win. Messenger for me is the best at this for a whole lot of reasons I've touched on, and especially in the episode 1 of this podcast. But everybody has the app. The conversations don't end like they do with the others. You can leverage the bot across your entire digital footprint so seamlessly. And that is just such a leg up. I feel like it's just game over Messenger if those are the circumstances that you're working on. But if your customers and potential customers are not on Messenger, then it's still worth bolting bots and exploring some of the other bots that are out there and putting the same fundamentals to work. And whether it's Drift or Intercom or the landing page one or any of the other live chat programs that offer bot functionality, it's not all bad. You can use those, and some of those out there in the market have some of their own advantages too that are a leg up on Messenger. So that's where I'm at with it. Those are the fundamentals, and with this one in the can, I can now build on the fundamentals. And boy, I've got a bot hack coming up that's super controversial, that's going to build on this immediately. So I'll see you soon on that. To get that and everything else I release, what's the best way to do that? Pull out your phone, open Messenger, search for Bots with the Win, click Get Started, come into the bot, say hi, introduce yourself. I'd love to have a conversation with you. And on that note, thanks for listening. And as always, have a great day. Thanks for checking out that video. I hope you got a ton of value out of it. If you did, I would be elated, thrilled, over the moon. If you consider subscribing, you can do that by hitting the subscribe button below. Also, this entire operation is about bots. I mean, what are we doing here? So the best way to learn about it, to see the best stuff that I share, is to get into my bot. You can do that by pulling out your phone. It's in your pocket right now. Open Messenger, search for Bots for the Win, click Get Started, and I'll see you in the bot. I share a ton of unique killer stuff in there. Patrick, Bots for the Win. Thanks for watching my video on YouTube. The question becomes, what are you going to do next? Are you going to watch a new one? Because
it'd be a lot cooler if you did.